A wolf's life is never easy. Survival is a constant struggle. Life can be unpredictable, fought with peril. There's a very thin line between life and death. Meet Brown, a high-ranking wolf in Sprout Pack. He knows he must protect his land, partner, and pups if he wishes to stay in the alpha's good favor. These lands are rumored to be watched over by ancient gods, whose favor or wrath could tip the scales of his survival. As Brown faces the trials of raising his second litter, the stakes have never been higher. Join us as we follow Brown's journey with his new litter, witness their first steps, first challenges, and the eternal fight for survival. Brown and his partner Starlight have been together for quite a few years. This is their second litter. Their first consisted also of 3 puppies, 3 adorable girls. This time, however, Brown could smell a male. Let's meet them. We have Minnow, Guppy, and Crab. Sprout Pack usually names their pups after more nature things, as that's what their pack is more aligned to. Their god, the pup god, is everywhere and is in everything. His day usually consists of marking his territory, hunting, and playing with the pups. But while out on border patrol, he scented something very strange. Even though he was a little hesitant, he couldn't help but want to show his partner and his pups. What was this? With his nose so focused on this new thing, he didn't even realize he had walked into Crescent Pack territory. It wasn't until he was nose to nose with the strange wolf that his eyes widened and he quickly turned away. That male was known as Manners. He was a very strong border wolf. This was not the first time they had met, and he knew that he didn't want to challenge him. Once back home, he let out a howl of relief, thanking the pup god for letting him get back safely. While out on a pronghorn hunting trip, the two did not even realize they were being dragged into another sprout wolf's territory. They were quickly shown that this was already claimed, and they should probably get out and leave the kill. However, Brown realized he could move and herd the doe away from their territory and hopefully still get this meal for his family. After some thinking, he realized that this pair was Twilight and Buck. Usually pretty friendly, but not when caught hunting on their territory. He would try not to do it again. But feeding his pups was the most important thing to him in this moment. Each day the pups grew a little bit bigger and braver, some getting even mischievous. Guppy couldn't help herself. She just wanted to explore and would often find herself wandering a little far than Brown would like. It's a good thing he has such a close eye on them, though. Danger can strike at any moment from anywhere. The beating of wings was the first thing he heard when he began to look towards the sky. An eagle was trying to take one of his pups. As the pups got bigger, he realized they would need to move dens soon. Fleas were also beginning to itch and scratch at the pups, himself, and Starlight. Thankfully, he was a pretty experienced wolf and knew of quite a few dens in the area. The trip should be safe. Letting out a small sigh of relief as his family made it to the new den. This one was tucked under a large rock. Lots of room to play, and he could even sit up top and keep an eye out for any predators that might try to attack. He carefully carried Crab over to the opening, letting his whole family get inside and check it out. After such a long journey, Starlight was exhausted and didn't want to hunt with him. So he knew he had to do it alone and find something pretty hardy. He tracked a bull elk herd for quite some time, realizing that one of the males was heavily injured, so he took his chance. Even though he was injured, it was worth it to bring back food for the pups. Days passed and they were relatively uneventful until he started hearing a buzzing noise. Almost like wings flapping, but not quite. It was consistent. He kept his eyes glued to the sky, hoping to figure out what it was. And when he did, he was not sure how to take it. There was legends of the Crescent Pack god having yellow wings, starry wings, but this couldn't be it, could it? Why was it circling and following his family? It almost seemed like whatever this was had brought danger. He scented a grizzly bear. One evening, the two wolves were sleeping peacefully curled up when the strong scent of Gempack filled their nose, causing them to leap up and immediately look for the intruder. They found her, and they realized that it wasn't just any Gempack wolf. It was Diamante, the alpha of Gempack. What did she want? Why was she here? Either way, the two knew that she could not stick around. If she figured out how many pups they had, she could try to launch an attack to steal them for her own pack. Brown had a tough time sleeping the next few days. The visit from Gempack leader not sitting right on his pelt. He decided to go on a hunting trip, take down an elk, at least try to get his mind off of it. As the days got shorter and colder, he began to forget about the encounter. Surely it was nothing of that importance, since no attack was made by them again. He wanted to focus on his partner Starlight and his pups. They were getting bigger and bigger each day. The cold also meant that predators were hungrier than ever. A cougar moved in and relentlessly tried to go after his pups. Sprout Pack was very strict and were not allowed to kill another animal they couldn't eat. But something in Brown's blood just boiled. One day, after bringing back a rabbit for his pups, he smelled a wolf he didn't recognize. At first he was alarmed, but then quickly realized it was just a young sprout male wolf. He thinks his name was Wheat, a wolf he hadn't seen in a very long time. On an almost starless night, the cougar returns, thinner than ever. Night after night, this cougar could be heard stalking around their den. Brown knew what he had to do and hoped to Sprout Pack and the pup god that he was doing the right thing. With the Cougar gone, Brown and Starlight were able to continue raising their pups in this den for many, many days, until the pups were no longer big enough to fit, and it was time to move to a more open location. This trip shouldn't be dangerous as the pups are older, but Brown knows that you always have to be on the lookout. Even a herd of deer could trample one of them. It was almost like a sign that they found a hurt doe mule deer right near their site. The pups happily feasting without a care in the world. To them, this place seemed wonderful, somewhere they could actually run around and stretch their growing legs. However, Crab seemed to be wanting to play less and less, eating less and less. Brown was distraught. His His son was getting sick, and there was nothing he could do but pray to the pup god that she would take it away. It was looking very grim for Crab. At some points, he was practically lifeless. Brown, carefully carrying him around and trying to get him to play or eat. Guppy could barely stand the sight of seeing her brother like this and decided to leave. Brown explained to her that her brother needed her. If he had any chance to get better, he needed her support. And not too long after she returned, Crab got better. Slowly but surely, he regained his strength. Crab was still recovering when a crescent pack wolf named Nebula decided to pay them a visit. They let her live, of course, but not without a few scars, warning her and her pack not to return. Life, thankfully, continued. The two hunting as normal, but there was something wrong about the hunt today. Brown just had a feeling that something wasn't right. Almost as if something was trying to warn him. His eyes widened at the family of grizzly bears. Was this the sign? He begged his mate not to fight, but she was furious, not wanting to give up this meal. Brown knew if both of them died in this fight, there would be no one to take care of the pups. He begged and pleaded, and finally, Starlight listened, and they returned home. On the way, he found a bear skull and showed it to his wife. He knew that she was hurting and probably realized that fighting them wasn't that smart, but he loved her for her fierceness to defend their family. The loud humming noise continued one day. Looking up, he was less scared, but more annoyed. It seemed like any time this thing was around, it attracted the attention of everyone in the area. It even scared poor Crab off. Ushering Crab back to the safety of the tall grass, he scented the wolves he had been fearing for quite some time. It was 2 crescent pack wolves, a mother and her young son. He knew that this was revenge for fighting Nebula, and he had to make sure to give this everything he had, or he could lose his whole family. It was completely chaos as all of the pups began to yelp and scream. Crab, once again unsure where to go, just darted. Brown and Starlight did everything they could to fight off these 2 wolves when he suddenly heard the loud yelp from Minnow. He had realized that the male had killed his daughter. This only drove Brown more into a panic. Did he help his mate fighting off these wolves? Or did he go and try to find Crab, who was hiding somewhere scared, worried he would wander off too far to be found? It seemed like the female had ran off. The 2 ganged up on the younger male that still had the blood of the pup in his mouth. When it seemed like the young crescent male scorpion was finally going to give up, Brown turned tail to try to search for his son Crab. He was able to pick up the scent 45 minutes ago, 35 minutes ago. It was chaos. He couldn't tell which direction he had gone, the poor pup probably running in circles. "25 minutes ago, surely he had found Crab." He didn't even realize the female crescent wolf Sagittarius had come back. Until he heard the bone-snapping crunch of the female killing Crab. It was only then they decided to finally leave, satisfied. Brown was distraught. He couldn't believe he had lost 2 pups so close. He was so close to letting them grow up. All he could do was mourn and cry and ask Pup God why. His first thought was to go after them, but he knew he had to be there for Guppy to make sure that at least one of his pups survived. Little Guppy was almost 20 pounds now. She was getting to be so beautiful and so much like her mother. When one morning, the scent of a cougar filled the area, Brown was not going to let this cougar take his only pup. After that fight, everything was calm. Guppy was able to grow old enough to help hunt. Brown made sure that she had a group of wolves similar to her to stay with. He had to go confront Crescent, and Starlight wanted to come with him. That, however, will be in the next year of his life. Let's go ahead and see what Guppy looks like now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of work, but I think I really enjoyed telling the story this way. And my goal is to actually have Brown or one of his pups move into Saga, as many people are extremely excited about that future update. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should go watch the WolfQuest developers video on it, because the pups will actually be able to grow up and live in the world, and you will be able to keep track of them, and it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, leave your comments down below what your favorite part was, you know, if you're excited about him going deep into Crescent Pack and finding Sagittarius and Scorpion and getting revenge, because I surely am. But yeah, oh, and subscribe please, because it helps a lot. But thank you guys so much, and until next time, bye!